So I almost got all of you killed in XCOM yesterday.
Why?
Oh yeah, I made everyone who commented on that fucking status.
That's
How
fine.
did you let
everyone
this happen?
You know what? It's okay. At least we're included. That's all that matters.
Because I barreled into a black site mission really, really cocky, and then like within minutes I was like, oh, there's 5 groups of enemies who are all 4 deep. I'm gonna turn the Xbox off.
Yeah, XCOM 2 was real bad about that. That was kind of
Connor,
why I stepped
I
away.
feel like you're the Grandpa Simpson meme where you just walk in, put your hat off, and then walk right back out and take your hat on.
Yeah, but this was like if I walked all the way into the restaurant and then all the patrons decided to stab me. Yeah.
I'm surprised that Big Gun Haro there couldn't pull us out of it like he has in the past, or that Shotgun McGee.
Honestly, I keep rotating everyone on a constant, like, one set of people are tired and the other people are wounded, and then you just just switch.
Great.
Arlen has a permanent, like a battlefield, like
Trauma.
yes. Well, actually, he got like basically his character will get in a map and go from like normal to cautious to panicked.
Oh, so
Arlen
it's
has
Arlen.
PTSD.
Huh.
Apparently, he does.
Yeah, you know, maybe it's gonna happen eventually. As long as I get to just keep killing with my machete, I don't care about the rest of you guys.
Oh, you all give glowing machetes now. I got everybody plated armor and mag weapons now.
That bums me out. I was hoping I was a unique snowflake.
I mean, you could be, but you'd also do like dick for damage with your melee attacks. So
could I do damage
I feel
with
like
my dick?
if it was me, I would just be saying machete every time I have to use it.
Lou, I feel like would be the only one allowed to say that.
Well, yeah, probably.
Yeah, I don't know. XCOM 2 is one of those games that I need to jump back into, but I need to buy the DLC first, because there's no way I'm trying that game again with the quote-unquote standard difficulty, because the standard difficulty is just God thumbing his nose at you and laughing.
It's patently unfair, especially when there's those timed missions and like those little progress bars that fill up. That basically means so many tick marks until it's just game over. That's it.
Speaking of games with difficulty settings, did you guys hear about Control?
No, what was that?
They just added like a whole like patch where you can like adjust the settings of like the enemy and your character and make it either like super hard or super easy.
Fun.
Which is kind of nice because I gotta be honest, that game, the occasional like hordes of enemies you face gets real fucking difficult real quick.
I don't know. I didn't really have any problems. I just kept throwing rubble at them. Like that was
I had more problems with boss battle.
So did I. That still doesn't work. But you know what?
So you took the Force Unleashed method. Just grab a thing, throw it at a guy, and then just keep walking.
Right. Yeah, and fly away. Yeah,
exactly. No, I don't know. I honestly thought the difficulty was perfect on Control. Like I didn't have any issues with it. Like the parts that I got punished, I was like, oh, okay, I'm just trying to be too aggressive here, or I'm not using my powers well, or I'm not using one of my different gun abilities.
Yeah,
but
there's a point after the ashtray maze for me where I'm just like, okay, this is starting to become not fun. I'm gonna step away for a second.
Nah. Power through.
I jumped back into Mortal Shell again this morning too, and that game is fantastic. But yeah, that game, one, is difficult, and two, like it's far more obtuse than any Souls-like game I've played. And one of the more fun parts about those games is kind of picking the story apart and figuring out. I don't know what the fuck is happening in that game. I'm some kind of white tadpole man who gets to inherit like the dead bodies of warriors. No one ever speaks, and when they do, they're even more cryptic than Dark Souls.
My favorite thing is that game ended and you were just playing Seaman from like the podcast. Like it just pulls out and this is just like inside the tank.
That would be perfect.
Oh god, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow instead of a Dreamcast.
It's at least. Oh, go ahead, Lou.
Oh no, go ahead, Eric.
I was just gonna say, at least you get to play a loot when you're playing Mortal Shell.
That is a game mechanic that I love and do not understand, because the item usage in that game is you don't get to like enjoy an item's full benefit until you use it 10 times, and you're familiar with it. So you can do that with the loot. If you play the loot 10 times, like it just says you're good at it. And I'm like, cool, maybe there's a bonus. I hit that 10th notch. No, you're just playing the loot. That's it. Just sitting there by a fire playing a loot.
You need some downtime, with the unspeakable horrors that you're running
into. I did find an item called the Unbreakable Loot. So I don't know what the fuck the difference is.
Can you beat people with it?
No, but when you attack enemies and they have one, like it will drop and you're like, boom, like strings just fucking hitting the ground.
Well, Lou, what were you gonna say before I had to talk?
I was gonna say I feel like I'm playing the opposite game because I'm like halfway through the campaign on Adventures.
Oh, yeah, is it good?
I'm really enjoying it. I've found myself I have 5 of the characters unlocked. And the character I somehow gravitated towards is not who I thought it would be. And it's actually Iron Man.
Really? Because everything I've read is like a lot of people have issues with the way he plays.
It's like hard to describe them as like compared to other games, but he has like the most versatile weapons because he's very rangy. Like he's kind of like I don't remember what it's called in Destiny, but he's like kind of your range attacker.
Okay, like, he's I know what you mean. Like he's not the tank and he's not the wizard.
Yeah, but
I liked him in the beta, but that one sequence they're like fly and shoot the things. I'm like, this is like arcade game bullshit from 2001. Yeah, what the fuck is this?
It's not in the rest of the game at all. I don't know why.
Good.
It's something you can do, and it actually makes traveling with him, like in the spaces, really convenient. Because Kamala, you're like kind of Spider-Maning around, and Hulk, you're jumping. Thor, you're flying, and Black Widow has like a Spider-Man thing, like a whip.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like he can lock onto multiple enemies, but he's also his power up, like his like mega power, is the Hulkbuster, and it's
what?
Yeah, you call down the Hulkbuster, and then you're in the Hulkbuster for like 10-15 seconds.
That's awesome. I didn't know that was a thing.
That's cool. Yeah, each of them have like a mega power. His is that Black Widow takes her to like Eskrima sticks and then makes them into a bow staff, and gets like electrocutes everybody.
She goes on Nightwing, everybody.
Yeah. Kamala has the second best one because she embiggens. Yep. And she's fucking gigantic and just like wrecks the goddamn house.
See, I'm sorry. I didn't think in the beta they had the Hulkbuster armor because I could have sworn when you used like Iron Man's ultimate, it was just the
chest laser.
Yeah, the chest repulsor. Yeah.
No, that's his most basic attack. Is the chest laser.
Oh wow. Okay.
His second attack is he unleashes like a mini EMP and overcharges himself, so all your power moves are more powerful, but then you kind of crash at the end of it, and you can switch him and Widow. So for Iron Man, you have repulsors, and you could switch it to lasers, and you could switch it to rockets, and they each have different attacks.
Okay.
You can switch them as you're fighting, like in combo. And Widow has she has pistols and machine guns. I have unlocked for her so far.
You're selling me on this game more and more. Talk about it. Holy shit.
And as you upgrade, so you're like beginning, you upgrade like your basic skill sets for like those. And then the second page is like upgrading the like your special moves, like the Hulkbuster, your what the hell is the chest beam thing called?
Yeah, a unibeam or whatever. That's
unibeam.
I mean
you upgrade them, and then there's like once you get to a certain point, you can choose like left or right, and then you can switch between 3 different like special versions, and that you can constantly switch between. Like, oh, here's an advantage you want to have for this mission. So like, the Hulkbuster stays out for a little bit longer, or it can shoot lasers, or it does something else. And same thing with like the EMP, and all the characters have that. And then once you get to like I think that's like at level 10. I think if you get to level 20 with a character, it's like another page of stuff, and it like even more specializes you.
God damn it! So basically, you're saying
it's very like online RPG Destiny. It's Destiny, but with Avengers.
Oh God!
And I have played once with other people. Most of the time, I've just been playing with the AI.
Destiny's fun, and I hear a lot of people like have a lot to say about how good the lore is, but man, I played the first game and the second game, and the first game, I was like, I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Like, it's there's a big ball, and you get strong from the ball, and I don't know, dead people come back to life.
The lore from it at all.
And the sequel's like, all right, who cares? There's these fucking Chaos Marines from Warhammer are killing everyone. Go back to the big ball and get your powers.
Man, there's like space people, but they're human, but they're blue now.
Yeah, I don't know. And there's androids and whatever the fuck.
And the guy who was narrating sucked, so even though he's like an Oscar winner, so we're gonna replace him with
yeah, Peter Dinklage was like half asleep for his like the lines he did for the first game, and they just fucking replaced him.
Yeah.
They replaced him post-launch.
Oh man. And I think there was like, if you had the collector's edition, it talked in Dinklage's voice too. Like the life one.
Oh, that's
yeah, but Avengers is fun. The story is really good. I really like it. It's kind of the Inhumans with a little bit of Extremis in there, and then kind of Iron Man 2 stuff. Iron Man 3. I'm trying not to spoil, even though like I feel like it's fairly obvious who the big bad is.
Well, I mean, he was in some of the promo stuff for the game, so it's not
as
that
you're
big
playing
a deal.
though, you get to see him develop.
Oh, interesting.
In different, like he's
so the different varieties of him.
Yeah, you see him like normal, and then it's a little bigger. And then like where I'm at now, it's like he needs like a whole system to hold him up. He's a better looking version than what's his name from The Flash. Was it the calculator?
The thinker.
Yeah,
okay.
He's kind of at that level in a chair.
Interesting. I mean, does anybody here care if we say who the big bad is in the game?
No,
I know
it's
who
MODOK.
Yeah, big spoiler.
He's also all over the promotional materials, so big shocker.
He's in the giant CG launch trailer. Like that's on the
I'm just shocked that they chose MODOK of all the Marvel villains they could choose.
It's really interesting because I'm watching it. I'm like, oh, this should have been the villain for Iron Man 3. Like he's basically very similar to that character.
No, but they needed to do the Mandarin, and then they needed to do a bait switch.
And
they had to
be a guy. He absolutely had to be a dude.
Yeah, it can't be Rebecca Hall. Nobody's gonna buy a Rebecca Hall action figure.
Women can't be superheroes or supervillains or go into space.
And they can't drive vehicles. Kind of in the game, too.
Oh,
interesting.
If you play the beta, there's like in those weird animated scenes, like they concentrate on a woman. That's who it is. She's just not in the beta at all. And she's like she's the number 2. It's her formula that's keeping MODOK alive. That's where it's like also very Iron Man 3. Like she has some sort of, and it's about like the adaptoids, and they're basically taking, and the reason they're called Inhumans is it's like a PR thing that AIM is doing so that they can experiment on them and take them and people care less. Like they're dehumanizing them.
Okay.
No, so it has nothing to do with the comic book Inhumans, except for Terrigen Mist and Kong.
This is playing off the fact that like there was like a bunch of spooky energy that burst out, I guess during the beta stuff, and like a bunch of regular people suddenly became superhumans.
The concept is they have a new helicarrier. I don't remember what it's called, and its engine is running on a Terrigen crystal.
Which
like you do.
If you know anything about the comics, the Inhumans would be having none of that shit.
And they're not mentioned in anything. And so the person who found it is the guy who's MODOK, and he built it. And then his whole thing is he's telling Tony, "Oh, there's like things we shouldn't launch it," and Tony's the one to push it forward. And then even Banner's like, "Oh, I don't know if we should do it," and then that explodes.
Okay.
And the whole thing is based on a clip that Kamala finds that shows, I think it's Tarleton, locking Cap in the room with the reactor. When she hacked into AIM. And then AIM's basically after her. And her being the main character is so good. I just played a part where she gave like a really good speech. And it was like super heartfelt and good. Like she's kind of like what Spider-Man is in the movies in a way,
Mm.
of being like the young, she grew up loving them and kind of being this great heart of them.
Mm.
And she has like her dad is also in a couple of things, and he's really good as a character in it as well.
So then for PS4, do they just have like dueling speeches just because they're the same character basically? I have no idea how exclusivity works to PS4. So I was laughing when I first saw this in the, I guess like the beta in the trailer, because I'm like, that's just the same thing from DC Universe Online. It's the same shit. It's the exo bits, which I love as a story device because Luthor's like, I'm from the future. Brainiac shows up after we murder the Justice League and we don't have any heroes. So I made these nanomachines that will make anybody into a hero and just like just fucking lets them out. And creates like thousands of metahumans.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
that's the thing with the Inhumans. Sorry, all the noise. That's the thing with the Inhumans is that the Terrigen like crystals, like that's like a holy ceremony for them to have people, the Inhumans, expose the Terrigen mist so you can see what their powers are. So to have like the friggin' humans just using one to power their helicarrier, that's like taking like the shrine of Turin to power a car with. Like, yeah, go for it. Or, like,
Use
yeah,
my
like,
universe to
like,
power the car.
yeah.
I think it says more about how much they don't give a shit about the IP of Inhumans. Like,
Yeah, well,
that they're just doing it this way.
Well, yeah, look what happened to X-Men and Inhumans like in like a 5-year span. Like their profiles have flipped. The Inhumans were getting pushed, and X-Men were getting stifled, and now
now
we've got
magically that Disney and Marvel have the rights to the films back. All of a sudden, the X-Men are getting a push again. Isn't that
Well,
funny?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think we can all still blame Scott Buck for fucking up humans.
I will say, Connor, the big difference though, what you're talking about with Injustice is what AIM is doing is saying they don't want people to have these powers and they're searching for a cure. And the only place that got this was like San Francisco. So like people are pissed because they're like, oh, my brother turned blue, and then AIM is like took him to go try to help him, and then people are just disappearing. Like, so it's not like everybody has powers. It's just like they gave powers to like, I don't know, 3 million people in one city. And then
that's manageable.
Yeah.
And then
totally.
they're just like kidnapping them and doing stuff. Which when you see the stuff, it's like, ooh.
Are you suggesting that a government reacted in a fascist way after a disaster? That's in no way anything that any of us would.
Yeah,
that doesn't ever happen.
You do a whole mission in New York, and like I think it was with Iron Man. It's like when you get him, and he's like, "Where is everybody?" And it's like, "Oh, AIM locked down." It's like their excuse to get like. And the thing, it's like, and Jarvis like responds. It's like, "Oh, like AIM has blocked off this coordination, saying that there's like Inhumans and saying that they're contagious, and that when they're infected by the Terrigen, they become ultraviolet, so that they're." It's kind of like building that as a way for AIM to take over power.
Yeah, but Lou, Connor, you know as well as I do, like, you guys having lived in New Jersey for a large part of your life, and my grandparents being in Staten Island, if New Yorkers were told, hey, get off the streets, they'd be like, hey, fuck you.
Yeah. That's why I love the Arkham Origins like explanation, because it's nonsense. They're like, oh, it's a strict curfew because it's Christmas Eve night or whatever. And I'm like, that wouldn't stop these people. Like,
no, definitely not.
We're living through it right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, yeah.
Alabama Roll Tide with their 146 people in 8 days. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't want to talk too much more about the Avengers game because I actually want some of the things to be a surprise when I get to them.
Yeah, it's good though. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, the other thing that I'm tempted to get is the new Tony Hawk game, or not new, but the remake of 1 and 2. And it's supposed to be really, really fucking good, and I love those games so much. I spent so much time getting high and playing those games. Oh,
yeah, it came out this Friday or Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday or Friday, and it's like $30.
I'm just imagining you, Eric, at 88 years old, playing the first Tony Hawk games. And
yeah, dude.
Having
better 88-year-old Eric on a skateboard trying to be like Tony Hawk.
Well, Tony Hawk is like 57, so
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know.
Exactly. Those games had a dramatic effect on my brother's life, because I think like he saw that and like played it and was like, "Oh, what is this fucking world?" So yeah, he's been skating ever since.
Oh, I was gonna say, did he ever discover how Tony Hawk 1 murdered his wife?
What?
Well, you said they had a dramatic effect on him, so I was just envisioning that the game actually murdered his first wife somehow. He's been searching for it ever since.
Oh. It was a video game.
You've seen any Tony Hawks around here?
It was the Tony Hawk game that came with that goofy peripheral.
Oh God,
Tony I didn't kill my wife. Tony Hawk.
There were two of
Tony
those.
Hawk doesn't care.
Oh my God, what game? Which Tony Hawk was that had that
There
weird
were two of them.
It was Ride.
Ride. Ooh.
Yeah, what was
And
that?
Shred.
Somebody's...
And Shred.
What?
It sounds. What the fuck?
Who's stabbing me in the ears?
Are we gonna get attacked by aliens? If so, just let us know. Just
my ear got pierced for that last one. Jesus.
Okay, just to let you know, it's all Hunter's fault. He's not even here.
I will tell him you said that.
This is the curse of the tall boy.
The aliens need to subscribe and then get off our planet.
Aliens need to send all B-stars a young _Kami.
I think he's moved on to more hypersexualized anime now. I'm not scared of my mom's 2-hit combo.
What?
What?
It's a weird anime where like there's like the getting trapped in another world. It's a play on that, but he gets trapped in another world with his mom, but she's like OP.
Oh no.
I don't like where that's going at all.
The metaphors are all over the place.
A lot of what you think, Eric.
Oh no. No.
It's anime.
That makes me so sad.
I have that Mario collection coming in for the Switch in a couple weeks.
Oh, that one I'm gonna buy like 5 copies of and jack up the price once it goes out of print. Yeah.
Go house to house selling copies of fucking Mario All Stars.
Yeah.
Nintendo did the stupidest thing they could have done by saying like, "Oh, it's going to be limited time." Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah,
like,
what are you fucking Disney? Like, you don't have a vault?
How many Switches people are gonna sell with those games installed at like $2,000?
I'll say, PS4s with PT on them are still pretty pricey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my friend had it.
Yeah, that's a thing now.
My friend has PT saved somewhere, like on a hard drive somewhere. He's like, I'm never getting rid of this shit. You can't make me.
Yeah. Why would
people have data mined the fuck out of that game now, and pretty much figure out like how everything works and all the secrets that were buried inside of it. I was watching the Game Grumps actually play it recently. I've never touched that. By the time I got a PS4, that game was fucking gone.
Yeah.
But but Game Studio deciding when something is available is ridiculous. I hate it.
Yeah. Well, that and just are you setting it up so you can make a secondary market to make arguably like a 300% profit? Because telling everybody it's going to be limited edition means you're automatically going to have people buying more than they actually need in hopes of selling it for like a markup of like $300 or so.
Yeah, but those mini consoles too. Yeah, those little the Nintendo. Yeah, the SNES and NES Mini. They were like, they understocked the fuck out of those things.
Yeah.
Now,
well, it's what I always say. The Japanese don't understand the American market, and if you read that Console Wars book, you're like, oh, they really don't, and they not just don't get it, they purposely are. I don't know, ambivalent, but like
obtuse.
I was gonna say like almost like angry at it, like they're like purposefully shitty about it.
That checks out. I recently watched that documentary on Netflix, High Score.
And they didn't how was that?
It's actually really good. I learned stuff that I didn't know before. So I feel like that's a plus. But they talk about Nintendo for a long time during one of those episodes, and how the Americans who were trying to bring the NES over here, they just had a completely different aesthetic idea about how the NES should look, and how it should feel when a player's using it, all that stuff. They just completely disagreed. So by the time they came to a design, I think it was like 2 years later or something like that.
On the actual
Yeah.
console itself.
Yeah, on the actual console release in America.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
like originally the Japanese wanted something very utilitarian. They called it the lunchbox, I think.
Okay.
Well,
But the Americans were like, no, it needs to be sleek and sexy.
Well,
I
I think you
wouldn't.
could. Sorry, Eric.
No, I was just gonna say, if I was going to use adjectives to describe the original NES, it would not be sleek and sexy.
Oh God, no!
It would be lunchbox.
Exactly.
It's literally a gray box. It's just yeah.
So is the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
And so is the N64. It's a
Well,
gray box. It's less boxy.
I don't know. The Super Nintendo, there was at least some interesting
Purple.
design choices. Well, yeah, but just the aesthetics of it were much better than I thought the Nintendo or the Super Nintendo. Well, no, the Nintendo, and I would even argue like the GameCube because fucking.
The GameCube is awesome looking.
Oh, give me a break! It's a box with a handle.
I know, but compared to the other two systems at the time, it stood out so much in a good way.
Yeah, I guess.
Arlen,
that's PS2 or PS2, right?
Yeah,
I guess if you're comparing it to the first Xbox, I think the first Xbox is one of the ugliest pieces of trash.
Everything about that console is clunky and big and stupid.
It's a black suitcase.
There were some good games on it.
Flat, so you can't stack things on it. Like it's just
the games are great, but like that first controller they released for that console, the Duke is obnoxious.
I love when they came out with I don't remember what they called it, the smaller controller. I was like, oh, so happy. And I had the Halo 2 Xbox.
Oh God, you were deep
green
in
one.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
There was a story I read recently about like it was a Japanese developer meeting with Microsoft, and I can't remember which one it was, but the meeting went so disastrously on Microsoft's part that these Japanese developers just walked the fuck out.
No, that doesn't sound like Microsoft. Because who else besides me and Arlen listened to that Halo movie episode of the podcast?
Oh God, that was
best movies never made. It's basically all about Microsoft. It's just like fucking dicks.
Yeah, they don't understand that Peter Jackson was a gigantic deal. Like in their minds, just calling it Halo was as big of a deal as calling it Peter Jackson Presents Halo. And they're so very obviously wrong, but they never backed down, and that's apparently why the whole project just fell to pieces. Because they were disrespecting Peter Jackson in 2005.
Well, it's okay. We got District 9 out of the whole thing, so
yeah.
I guess it's kind of a win. I don't know.
Yeah, but then District 9 leads to Chappie, and then
Right.
all roads lead to suffering.
Yeah. Also, I think Halo isn't adaptable. I really do.
No.
I mean, it is, but Halo's kind of dumb. All right, Halo's really like
Well, that's what they said in the thing. Like the guy who's the writer was like, when he met with Peter Jackson, was like, "Did you listen? Did you watch any of the cutscenes?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "Good, me neither." And they just made up their own shit.
Oh wow. Okay.
Well, apparently
because they didn't care about any of that stuff, and
the Covenant.
Really, should they?
I can't even remember what the other things are called. It's not the Hive.
The
who cares?
or something.
What?
Who cares and the who cares? It's
right.
I'm not into Halo for its rich lore. Like, sorry.
Well, and then
I know that there are people, and it's insane to me.
Well,
yeah, like there's that section of the population who was like, man, when what's his face took off his helmet in Halo 5, and it was that guy from the books. I'm like, why do you give a shit? Also, what is there that much supplemental material? Like,
yeah, amazingly there is.
There's a lot. Polygon did a video by this guy that he does a lot of this stuff where he just like dives deep into like third degree lore about various video game stuff, and he did one where he read all of the Halo novels up to like maybe 2 weeks ago.
God.
Yeah, and he did it, and it took him a year to read all of them. He started recording the video last year. and it's insane because he just slowly becomes like a hardcore Halo.
Incel?
No, I don't think so. But he's
He gets
like,
his virginity
it's
back.
weird. None of my friends who are like uber nerds want to hear any details about Halo. It's like Halo lore is that bad compared
feel
to
like
regular
Halo-
nerd shit.
Halo lore is equivalent to like Avatar, the movie lore, to me.
I feel like
Oh,
that's very
no.
close. I feel
Because like I don't give a shit. There's blue cat people. There's
Mhm.
unobtainium. Okay, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
Well, Halo is also like, remember Reach? Yeah, I do.
Mhm.
You guys won't stop bringing it up.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
heard about why they delayed Halo Infinite, or one of the reasons why is contributed
Because
to the delay?
It looks bad.
Well, yeah, among other things.
Besides that, they said that the
Among
TV show
other
took
issues.
up most of people's time,
Oh yeah,
what-
yeah.
which is still happening, by the way. If anyone didn't remember, it's you're still getting one of the guys from American Gods is Master Chief,
Oh
Wait,
yeah.
wait,
What?
which guy? The lead? I'm
Mad Sweeney.
guessing.
Mad Sweeney.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what is this for?
The Halo TV show on Showtime.
Oh,
Oh, the channel that nobody cares about. Awesome.
Wait, your stars? Or Quibi?
Oh,
Or do you mean Peacock?
Quibi coming to a drive-in theater to you soon. Speaking of cable stations that people actually care about, did anybody else other than Arlen and I watch Raised by Wolves yet?
Not yet.
No,
I actually
need
haven't.
to.
I haven't gotten to it yet.
You have? Oh God.
No, because I saw that there were 3 episodes, and I'm worried that I'm just gonna watch all of them.
Well, isn't
Yeah,
that
that's
what you're supposed to do with TV shows? Is watch them?
I mean, yes, that's true. But I also want to do other things with my time as well. Also, a bunch of other shows came out, so I'm trying to decide what to watch first. Like that Hilary Swank show where she goes to Mars
I heard that wasn't
also
good.
happened. And then The Boys is out now. It's just there for people to
Well,
watch.
it's
So
I thought it was the first 3
PSA that
episodes.
This is also a PSA. Y'all should watch Cobra Kai on Netflix because it's fucking great.
I gave Cobra Kai a shot. I couldn't
Oh,
get into
There's
it.
a better
but-
Netflix show that came out 2 weeks ago.
Season 2 was much
Mm.
better.
Lucifer came out, and I think 3 of us watched that. And it was fucking
Lucifer
awesome.
did come out.
It was.
It is so good.
I saw the like one of the first previews for Cobra Kai, and I was like, just absolutely not. This looks like the cheapest, worst fucking nostalgia cash in.
Yeah.
And it came out and everyone was like, "It's great." I'm like, "I don't believe you."
Yeah.
That reminds
Yeah,
me,
no,
didn't
that's-
Bill and
yeah.
Ted come out this week?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
they-
happened.
Yeah,
I bought it and watched it. It's fine.
Mm.
It's all right.
No,
Nice.
back on Cobra Kai, they actually like present the events of the first Karate Kid, but like from Johnny's perspective, and then you kind of realize, hey, maybe Daniel LaRusso is a dick.
Yeah.
There's a
Been
whole
on that,
YouTube
yeah.
video about that.
Yeah, a lot of people have been on that track. I just did not care. Like William Zabka is a better actor, I guess, than you would imagine.
Yes.
But like,
my memories of the first Karate Kid are Johnny's an asshole. Like,
Yeah.
I don't. There's
They're,
nothing
they're
you-
both
They're all
they're both
shitty.
douchebags. Yeah, like
right.
Daniel's like not very polite and instigates
Mhm.
a lot of fights, or
Right.
kind of gets a lot. He escalates lots of the situations.
I mean,
because he
it's
thinks
a,
he's a tough kid from New York.
Exactly.
right.
he's
It's a
35 and
yeah.
everybody else is in high school.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
I
has
mean,
no time for their shit.
it's a lot like
Yeah, he's-
describing. Yeah. It's a lot like.
Just-
What was that, John?
I said my girlfriend and I also just watched Avatar. Her first time. My
Oh
insert
wow.
here.
The TV show, right?
Yes.
But no, the movie, it was mesmerizing.
Yeah.
You
You know,
have
They
to
watched
defend-
it on a.
I loved
I
all the
watched it
white-
on a Samsung 3D TV that they found in the garage sale.
No, I loved all the white people casting and how no one was funny like in the TV show. It was great.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was talking about the like Avatar, the cat.
Oh, we're talking about James Cameron.
There's too many things called Avatar. That's the problem.
Or just related to Avatar. Just
But yeah, now we're waiting to find a moment to watch Korra together because I wanted to show her that one next.
I like how history has repeated itself in the sense that like that movie was announced, Shyamalan was going to direct, and then the writers of the show got involved, and the studio was like, "Why don't you guys just fuck off?"
I know it's just leading.
Mhm.
And then like fucking Netflix is like, "Live action series, why don't you guys just fuck off?"
Apparently they
It's
wanted.
amazing to me.
Apparently they wanted to make it the next Game of Thrones, is what I read, and they were like, "Yeah, we want to age up the kids. We want there to be sex and blood." I'm like, "No."
Are you kidding me?
That's not. That's
The same network that already has The Witcher
well,
felt the
wants
need
to
to do this the last
diversify
ever.
their portfolio. They want to make it so that when they cancel one of them, you won't miss it. Because they'll have a bunch of other shows that are in 2 seasons that are fantasy-esque.
Decipherable.
It's just
Hey, the Dragon Prince is getting 7, so excuse you, sir.
okay. I don't care. It's a problem that Netflix has where it's like the shows that people I know have actually watched maybe get to like 2 seasons. Occasionally something gets to 7 or 10, but it's never anything anybody suspects or assumes would be the thing. Like again, I think we talked about this before. Orange is the New Black making it to like what was it, 6 or 7 seasons?
7.
8. Right. It's like what?
Well, that's
Yeah.
because it was a show made for an audience that none of us on here are part of.
I watched 2 seasons. I liked both of those, but never went back.
Yeah, but like,
my wife watched
yeah.
it. I watched like 2 seasons with her, and then I was like, I don't care. But
I think
she's-
I think Weeds is a better show.
Hmm.
Or if you're me and you discover a 3-part pilot on Netflix and you wait a year and a half for some news on it, and then they quietly announce they're just not going to pick it up.
Yeah, I mean that happens a lot.
Be your residue.
Yeah, there's a lot of those. There's a lot of like little projects where you're like, oh, I hope this will be a thing. No, no, it won't. It won't be a thing.
I feel like that's like
It's like, nah, we're gonna buy this weird fucking ghost military movie with the bad guy from Iron Man 3.
Oh god, I never saw that, but was it bad?
I don't know, it just looked stupidly expensive.
wait, Guy Pearce.
It's a film. No, it's
No,
it's got a yeah. It's
They got
dude
the
who's in
lead extremist thug from Iron Man 3, the one who's
you know what movie he's in?
what? Oh my God.
Ranger?
His heart ripped out. Eaten?
Yes, off camera.
I forgot that he. Oh God, that's right. It's all coming back to me now. God, he's in so many things. He's in the Pacific. He's the lead of the Pacific. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I remember working at theater when it was shortly after Iron Man 3 came out, and he was in some movie about the JFK assassination, but from like the camp from what's his face, his fucking like family.
Parkland.
Harvey Oswald's brother.
Parkland.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I just want to point out that man had a year between Iron Man 3, World War Z, The Lone Ranger, and Parkland.
He's in World War Z?
Yes.
Oh yeah, he's one of the soldiers, isn't he? He's one of the something like that.
Yeah, that movie's not good. I'm sorry. I did.
Nah. Have you read the book, John?
Yes, I have.
I see. I had no issues with World War Z because it took just what it needed to from the book because there was no real way to adapt the book, and I thought it did some interesting things with the zombies.
Then call it something else. Don't call it World War Z.
But that's it. Go ahead, Arlen.
I was gonna say that's a hill that I appreciate if somebody wants to die on it, but I don't care
Although I
about
will
that
say
hill.
It would be the funniest joke of having Peter Capaldi as a WHO doctor. Or
Yeah, that was pretty good.
WHO doctor.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's funny.
That was a good moment there where it's like, oh, huh, I wonder if anybody knew. Yeah, that movie was just fine. As somebody with no connection to the book whatsoever, it was like, okay, this movie exists. It's reasonable, I guess.
I
as
had a
a
good
movie.
time with it.
David
Yeah.
Fincher was supposed to do a sequel to it, and I'm like, that sounds like a great idea. And now it's not happening, but it's okay.
I mean, yeah.
A weirdly sterile zombie movie too.
Yeah.
Right, that was
weirdly
that was a problem. Like,
The only other PG-13 zombie film I can think of is Warm Bodies, which I maintain is still good.
No.
yeah, that movie works for what it is.
That movie's oh, Eric, shut up.
Eric, have you actually seen the film, or are you just being old?
Because of love. Fuck off.
But it's
Well,
it's a romantic
yeah.
comedy around.
Well, here's the thing: we're talking to a man who is centuries years old, talking about a film meant for children.
So is
yeah,
Eric Nosferatu?
probably.
I just
I like
everything
Rob
about that
Corddry in
movie
the
was offensive to me.
You know what? All right.
That entire movie was offensive to me. I just
Yeah.
I
Should it be canceled, Eric? Is that what it
yes,
should
it
be?
should.
Yeah.
I want that quote on a box. Warm Bodies. It was offensive to me. Eric Fedorchak, ancient being.
It was terrible. It was terrible, and I know because
Wow.
I'm older than you guys, and you all probably saw it when you were much younger. It holds a
saw it
weird
when
place in
I was in high school. Yeah.
Saw it
I
when
was
college.
married in my 20s.
I'm sorry.
I saw it in theaters in Las Vegas.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry you all have bad taste. I'm sorry. That movie's terrible. That movie is terrible. There is nothing redeeming about that movie. It completely shits on all types of ideas of zombie lore.
Just
But
admitted
that's the point.
No.
movie.
My God, Eric is gatekeeping the zombie genre here.
He really is.
With this particular thing, yes, I am. This particular thing, I am taking a hard stance on this.
I wish I cared this much about anything.
No, I'm just saying this because I'm shocked that there are actually people who like it and people that I generally respect the opinions of too. It's disappointing. I'm disappointed in all of you. I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I don't know. I went in with not like high expectations. Also, that's the thing. There are many.
It's a rom-com. Like
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
yeah, but so arguably so is my God, whose microphone is making me want to kill myself. One could argue that Shaun of the Dead is a romantic comedy, and that does it 10 times better. Like,
I mean, nobody's disagreeing with you. It is 10 times better. Yeah.
I
guess I came in seeing it thinking it's like similar to like which a movie I've never seen is like Ghosts of Girlfriends Past. It's like they're actually ghosts. Like,
that's a bad
yeah.
movie.
Yeah, it's a bad movie, but it's like it's a rom-com with like weird horror elements. Like I wasn't expecting like high quality.
Right.
I think the internal monologue from the zombie, from the zombie perspective, is fun. And
actually can be funny when needed.
Yeah, and I think the first 10 minutes are really, really funny. And then it's kind of just enjoyable and inoffensive from then on out. Like, I didn't find anything about it to be it's David Franco. It's his fucking brother.
Oh, that's right. It's Baby Franco.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Right. Well, James Franco was too busy texting young girls, so that was.
It was for research. It's like the guy from the.
Yeah.
Just
last thing I'm gonna say about Dead Bodies. I went in expecting nothing, and I got even less out of it when I got done.
Again, fair. I understand your position.
Your heart is already dead, and love you.
You know what movie I also saw? I think the same year, the same theater was Jack the Giant Slayer with Nicholas. Oh my God! Stop it!
Okay.
Connor, that was the first year I worked in a movie theater, and let me tell you, that was the most middling start to my time at a movie theater.
It's
2013.
It's rare that I forget an entire movie, but I just until now forgot I saw that film.
So did I.
I saw it when it was on Netflix, and I'm pretty much in the same boat, Connor. Like
I remember walking out thinking that was the most resoundingly okay movie I ever saw.
Yeah, I don't really remember much about that movie other than like, oh yeah, I saw that once, and that's the extent of my memories of that film.
Yeah. Wasn't that during the time where we're like Snow White and the Huntsman, and like I think like one or two other gritty fairy tale reboots too?
Yeah, I think so.
Don't
Christopher
forget,
McQuarrie was involved in Jack the Giant Slayer.
Yeah, he was one of the writers. I'm pretty sure.
He's
part of the.
Week after Jack the Giant Slayer, we got Oz the Great and Powerful, a very memorable.
Oh God, that movie that exists.
Oh, and that one has James
Christopher
Franco.
McQuarrie thing. Yeah. McQuarrie was the writer of Usual Suspects. He's a singer's sort of partner in the
He
early
also did
days.
two Best
Yeah.
Mission
But he's too old.
Right. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
And that's
Yeah.
why he continues
Yeah.
to work.
He also
I-
did the two Best Mission Impossible movies. Just saying.
Yeah, this is a fact, John. You don't need to say these things because we all know
Yes,
them.
I do. I'm just stating obvious fact.
You are. You are just stating the obvious.
So, speaking of movies that are actually worth our time, has anyone else seen Color Out of Space yet?
Yes.
Not yet. I hear it's on Shutter though.
I saw it back in April.
Yeah, back when
Yeah.
there's a chance it might have come out in theaters. Yeah. Oh my God, that movie is unbelievably good. Like,
Yeah.
Connor, you're going to love this. Like, it is.
I can't fucking wait.
It is such a nice return of Richard Stanley, and it's the first time I've seen like an H.P. Lovecraft story adapted and done well by contemporizing it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so
Also,
good.
Nicolas
Like,
Cage is
Yeah.
pretty great in it.
I was just glad that one, it came out, and two, it was getting a warm reception because I think Richard Stanley is like a director who was unjustly fucked by the fucking Hollywood system.
by Marlon Brando and Val Kilmer.
By Marlon Brando and Val Kilmer and any other, and like that douchebag director who came in to replace the original one, who came in to replace Richard Stanley.
So I've never seen the actual movie. I just only know from Ron.
Oh, really? It's weird. I
Yeah.
just
Well,
always remember seeing it and being talking about like Hunter with the Beastars, like
Wrong-
way
wrong.
too much about like Fruits of
About
Balk in that
his
movie.
time making it, and all I know of it is all I know the stories anyway. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know like, oh hey, Richard Stanley was fired off this. I'm like, oh, was he? Oh, okay.
Well, Richard Stanley was fired off of it, hid out in the woods with the Aborigines for a while, and then returned to set dressed as one of the animals and helped burn down the set.
Oh, I love that story.
Yeah, I love all the stories from Marlon Brando or about Marlon Brando from that movie because like I think one of the initial meetings with him is he was like, "Why don't I take my head off and reveal that I was a dolphin the whole time?"
Oh yeah. And one
Here,
of the actors was
Have another
supposed to be
hobo,
like
Marlon.
he was just gonna have a huge role, but he gave it to the world's tiniest man.
Yeah. Well, no, it's from what I'd read. Like Marlon Brando had seen a video of him like playing piano with a miniature piano with someone who was like a concert pianist, and he was
Yes,
like, "I
it's
want
the
him on
bit
the
that
movie."
the bit in Austin Powers is that bit.
Yeah, he saw a little guy and was like, "I want him in
Yeah.
my next movie."
My favorite thing, if you look it up, Fruza Balk talks about how she was so excited to work with him, and she goes, one, they actually had to basically kidnap her because she tried to run away from the filming.
Yep.
But she went to go talk to Marlon Brando. She's like, "Oh, do you want to go over the scene and like talk about since like you're my father?" And he's like, "Oh no, dear, this movie's trash. Don't worry about that." And she was just like, "Okay." And I think that's when she tried to run away.
There's also that like story about how he put an ice bucket on top of his head for a scene and refused to take it off. So they just filmed the scene with the ice bucket on his head, and it's there for no reason.
Oh no! What it is it was actually hot. So he was like, "Oh, I'm doing this for my character," but it's actually that he was fat and hot. So that's why he put an ice bucket on his head, and
Jesus
he couldn't do
Christ.
anything.
So Eric, you'll appreciate this. Richard Stanley revealed that Color Out of Space is the first in a trilogy of Lovecraft adaptations he's doing, and he's currently writing an adaptation of the Dunwich Horror.
Glad you brought that
Ooh.
up because I was gonna say I'm very glad that if this is the start, and this
Yes.
is what the other movies are gonna feel like. I am so very
Yes.
in.
Yes.
I feel like the Double Shower is a natural progression to go to from Colorado Space.
I wonder what the third movie is going to be like. Is someone going to finally do At the Mountains of Madness, or is he going to do something completely different? I hope he does the one with N-word cat, and that's all Nicolas Cage says the whole time.
I think an anthology movie would be cool.
Yeah,
And that
that's true.
is also
Mhm.
working.
Doing the music of Eric, I think Eric Zan, The Outsider, Rats in the Walls, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think doing Call of Cthulhu is challenging.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right.
I-
That story is like,
Here's what I
that thing doesn't exist. Here's a statue. We're in a boat. Oh my god, there it is. We're leaving now.
Yeah.
what I have from an interview. He says, I'm pleased to say that Spectre Vision, so Elijah Wood's company, has basically greenlit 2 more Lovecraft adaptations.
Mm-hmm.
Prepping Dunwich Horror, set in the same milieu as Color Out of Space and near future disaster struck Arkham County. He says we'll go on to campus and get back to Miskatonic University for the first time since Reanimator, Guild of Necronomicon,
Oh wow.
the Black Book.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Dunwich Horror should be cool.
This was back in January of this year, so this is recent.
Yeah, but COVID. January of this year might as well be 30 years ago.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Dunwich Horror is gonna be, I think, is gonna be fun because that has a lot to do with like, there's a thing that I can't see, but what the fuck is that? And it stopped now. What the fuck? What's happening?
I
I
am
don't know.
so confused. I can't tell
I-
if they're doing a bit.
Someone is either tapping their microphone or doing something else rhythmically, and it's irritating as fuck.
yeah,
Or
I can't,
or it is
yeah.
glitching.
It's. I keep on missing things. uh,
Now I don't hear anybody.
Well,
Yeah.
I think everybody stopped talking.
Okay, well it's gone now.
Yeah.
Whatever
I think we're
ghost.
trying to figure out what it is. Yeah, it's the ghost that tried to stop that one After Dark back in the day.
We had the audacity to keep going today.
Yeah, the only thing that I've been hearing is like randomly a couple people will just get crazy loud
Okay.
and like almost blow out my eardrums loud.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Yike. Big yike.
Andy.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Andy. It has to be Andy. Yeah, speaking of Lovecraftian entities, this is a segue. I recently tried out some of the Hulu Into the Dark stuff.
okay.
Eric,
Yeah.
Eric, you have Hulu, right? And
Yeah,
have you tried
yeah.
any of this stuff?
There was one we watched that had crap. Who is the guy who is the young version of the Man in Black on Westworld?
Oh,
I can't remember that actor's name, but yeah, there was one with him and a coven of women that were all trying to right some sort of crimes that he did. I don't want to say too much, but that was really the only one I've checked out. But it was actually pretty good. Like, it wasn't the best thing on earth, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, I think I know which one you're talking about. That sounded good. I watched a couple of them. I watched Uncanny Annie, which is like R-rated Jumanji.
Okay.
Which was
All right.
and it lives up to that title. Like it goes there. Maybe it could be a little bit gorier, but they really went for it. And then I did a movie called Crawlers, and it's a very like ham-fisted idea. Basically, these like body snatcher style aliens invade on St. Patrick's Day. And they use
Is
the
it in Boston?
confusion
No
of
one
the
could tell what they're
drunkenness.
shooting.
Right. Yeah. They use the confusion to like take over cops, take over whole parties of people. Both movies are very fun. They're very goofy. And I kind of enjoy that. They're like an old Friday night movie type situation.
When you said crawlers, my brain immediately went to the alligator movie, and then when you said body snatchers, I'm like, wow, the setup for that movie is fucking wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one that's on there that I've been meaning to check out, but I haven't gotten around to it. It's Puka, I think it's called.
Bless you.
Puka looks good. They did 2 of those, right?
Yeah, they actually did a sequel recently, which I guess is maybe an indication of quality.
It looks like a serious version of the Simpsons episode where the teddy bear comes to life. Again, very.
I thought it was going to be a movie about like
goofy.
a cursed necklace that some douchebag wears on the feet.
Oh god, yeah, it's about a member of 311 who goes insane when he's possessed by whatever and starts murdering people. Yeah,
Right. Yeah, possessed by a old guitar pick or something.
Blood is the color of your blood.
Yes. He gives it to Fred Durst, and then things just
Oh
go
God.
go
Oh,
off the
no.
rails.
Oh God. No.
Fred Durst, acclaimed film director Fred Durst.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah. What did
I
that
feel
movie
like-
get?
What the fuck? That movie.
The one with John Travolta in it.
Oh, what the? I can't remember
Oh,
that called, but
uh,
I watched several reviews.
Fanatic?
Yes.
Yes.
I watched several
Yeah.
video essays on that movie. I haven't actually watched the movie yet because I feel like I get it from a distance, but holy shit,
Mhm.
choices are made in that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It apparently got ravaged. Yeah. I think the basic idea I got is like people who've watched it wish they could unsee time because of that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Travolta is doing like a pro wrestling interpretation of a special needs person,
Oh no.
which is to like rock back and forth, get really panicky,
Yeah.
talk incessantly, and just have dresses like an idiot and has a weird haircut.
So is
Mm.
this a worse portrayal than when Ben Affleck did it in was that The Accountant?
Oh
Wait,
God, that
what?
movie.
Yeah, you don't
The
remember this,
Accountant.
like, bad action movie?
No, I've never
Yeah.
seen The Accountant.
It's like John Wick for stupid people. That's the best way I can describe
The
it.
basis of the character is that Ben Affleck is autistic.
Oh no.
Right, and then
I'm
John
tangled.
Bernthal. Yeah, John Bernthal shows up as like his secret brother he hasn't seen in 30 years, who is also autistic and a hitman. Because
What?
sure, why not? Of course, the Punisher plays his evil doppelganger hitman.
Yeah, and you say this like this was not a small movie. It's Affleck, Anna
No.
Kendrick, J.K. Simmons, Barry
Oh.
Wald, Jeffrey
Yeah.
Tambor, John
And
Lithgow.
Gavin, what's his face? The director of that movie,
DeGraw?
The Way Back. No, not Gavin DeGraw.
O'Connor.
Gavin O'Connor. Yeah. Director of Miracle, and I can't think of anything else but Miracle.
I'll click on his name. Miracle. The
Kurt
hockey
Russell
movie?
is just blocking all the rest of it out for me. He's just
Pride and Glory and Tumbleweeds are his other two big movies.
huh. I feel like there are others in there, but I don't have it in
Uh,
front of me right now.
Director.
But yeah.
Pride and Glory Warrior. That's the big one.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Warrior.
Warrior's actually pretty good.
I like
Yeah.
Warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah, Warrior's good. So the fact that The Accountant was like middle of the road was really disappointing. Yeah, weird movie. The Way Back though, not bad actually. One of the last movies I managed to see at a theater. That was fun.
That
What?
sounds familiar, but I can't remember what that one's about.
The trailer is a lot of Ben Affleck drinking beer in the shower. Which
No.
I feel like that's a
Really?
lot of people's moods
Yeah.
now. I feel like that movie was preparing us.
All the footage of him in his real life affairs after Batman vs Superman.
Yeah,
I was gonna say it's just him reading reviews for BVS.
yeah. That's what it feels like. It feels like I guess I'm just here in the suffer box for choosing a bad movie.
Oh, this is his sports movie.
Yes, it's basically I think it's Bad News Bears, but it's like
I feel like every
alcoholism
middle-aged
is way up.
I feel like every middle-aged actor, like white actor, gets one of these. Kevin Costner has like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Well, they also get their Jerry Action era where they all become
Right.
badasses.
Yeah.
Who
Because
were only
The Accountant
badass
was
power
an
of
attempt at that. Yeah. Clearly.
Clint Eastwood has trouble with the curve. The
Right.
weirdest one is the John Hamm one. Have you ever heard of that one?
Oh
Where
God,
he
that's the
He goes to
yeah.
India to find a baseball player to pitch.
Maybe
fuck.
every white actor does have one of these. Now that
Well, and wasn't
Yeah.
the John Hamm one a Disney movie too?
yeah,
Yeah.
that one's one of those Disney movies that nobody went to see, but it was still released in
Somebody
theaters.
did one a couple years ago where they're like a coach of like Central American kids in a soccer team for high school, and I feel like it was also Kevin
Oh,
Costner.
God. Of course.
Well, no, he
Um,
did.
Are
He
you
did
talking
one
about how
about
they should all run into tornadoes?
right. Yes, he did one about track and field kids in like
that's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, the track
yes,
field
and it
kids.
was
He's
like
from,
Southern
four before
California.
he-
Hmm.
Um, what do you call it? Quaid has the rookie that's based on a real life story
Well,
of
that
like
was
a gym teacher.
that's just a gym teacher going to become a
the
baseball
pros.
player.
What the fuck happened to Dennis Quaid?
A lot of
Yeah.
things.
He does all Jesus films now.
I mean, his brother did go kind of insane, depending on how much you believe
Kind
in
of?
the. Depending on how much you believe in the Hollywood killers, as he put them.
If I remember correctly, wasn't he having sex with his wife on camera that got put onto like streaming service? Not streaming services, but like YouTube or whatever, and
You
quickly
might
taken
be
down?
correct.
They were squatting
You
on their
might,
house.
Yeah.
yeah, but he
Yeah.
was putting out videos where it was like the Hollywood killers, the Hollywood murderers, because he was afraid that people were going to break into his house, kill him, and steal his money, and
Oh.
use it for something. I guess I don't.
What, buy a 40 and maybe $1 bag of chips? Like,
Right, like
Homeboy is not looking like he's all that wealthy at this point.
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
So
I mean, he also kind of looks like some of the people that live in like in the coal towns in Pennsylvania that probably have all their money underneath mattresses. So who knows?
I just blame the fact that he was in Pluto Nash.
sure. I mean, you know,
That's canon. That's what we'll do.
a lot of evils can
Pluto
be
Nash broke his soul.
Pluto Nash, I feel like. So many. Like that movie Meet Dave. There's no way that didn't happen because of Pluto Nash in some way. That's the movie where Eddie Murphy is like a captain of a ship that's shaped like Eddie Murphy. Is that right? Yeah.
He's a member of like a tiny race of humans that are piloting a giant Eddie Murphy robot. As it as it goes on dates, whatever.
Right.
That's some Grant Morrison sounding shit.
Really weird.
I mean, but far less cool.
Late 90s.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What was that, Lou? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Eddie Murphy did like a string of really weird movies in like the late 90s, early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
He sure did.
He needed money for
Yeah.
transsexual hookers.
Exactly. Yeah.
Has anyone here seen Norbit?
Yes.
No.
I have not.
Oh boy. He is like checking off all the offense boxes as far as like if he would get canceled today.
Yeah.
Oh wait, is that the one where he plays the skinny little guy and then the big fat woman too?
Yes.
He also plays an Asian. I'm sorry, a Chinese cook. I think one other character, but yeah, the Chinese cook character is grossly stereotypical, and he's talking in yellow voice. It's very, very uncomfortable.
Oh no!
Oh man, I'm looking through his IMDb and it's like, holy man! I remember seeing commercials for this Bowfinger.
So you're saying that Eddie Murphy might actually be a shitty person in real life? Is that what you're? Is that what you're trying
like 12 kids with like a bunch of different people?
One of them is Mel C from the Spice Girls.
Scary Spice had to like get a paternity lawsuit on him.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Whoa! I did not know about this.
Yeah. Yeah, and he was also acted like a little bitch at the Oscars for I forget whatever movie he was in that he was up for an Oscar, and when he didn't win it, he apparently just stormed off.
The one with Jennifer Hudson. It's really good.
Dreamgirls. That's it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He is really good in it too.
Yeah, well, apparently not good enough though.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things where if you're somebody who's used to doing comedy films and you finally get, I guess, attention in that direction, I understand feeling like you were singled out for not getting it because of your background. So that's a thing, but at the same time, like maybe you weren't the best.
Beyond that though, like that was kind of Eddie Murphy's like one of his bigger comeback roles,
right?
So it's just like you came out of nowhere again, dude. Like just chill out. That and you know the Oscars
you were donkey for a decade.
Exactly.
Right.
And and Oscar isn't necessarily an indication of actual talent. It's more just for commercial blah blah blah.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
Which is why some people don't get it until several films after they should, and the one they get it for is kind of boring.
Yeah,
Mhm.
or after they're dead.
Mhm.
So looking at Eddie Murphy's IMDb, I discovered something that I didn't know existed. There was a Beverly Hills Cop TV show 7 years ago.
There have been many, but yeah, there was one that they got him to be a part of.
I did not know this happened.
Neither did I.
Yeah, it almost went to TV. It did not succeed.
I was just saying, like, I don't know who any of these people are. Dude, this...
Yeah, one of them's like the Wayans, right? Am I getting that right?
No.
Are you thinking of the
You're thinking of Lethal Weapon
show? Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe. I don't know. I
The-
remember there
the
being
guy-
like one of the younger Wayans being part of it, but I might be getting.
Yeah, the guy who's the
wrong.
lead, the only thing I've ever seen him in is like season 1 of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And
Okay,
I'm
well,
pretty sure
yeah.
he got killed off.
Oh, so
Oh wait, no, I
he's
know
in
who it
nothing.
is, yeah.
All right, gotcha.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah. He means absolutely nothing to the universe. Exactly. Yeah, that's what we're saying right now. Yeah. Let's see.
The other
Yeah,
thing
this is-
I watched recently, I watched Doom Patrol season 2.
Oh yeah.
It was good. I think it suffers from the lack of a villain, especially not having Alan Tudyk in it.
Well, canonically, Mr. Nobody went on to voice the Joker in the Harley Quinn cartoon.
It's literally said, yeah.
Yeah, I think someone makes a comment like, "Yeah, he took some voice acting gig for some streaming service."
Yeah, Beard Hunter.
Oh, Beard Hunter's in it? What?
Yeah, he's in season 1.
Oh God, I need to watch this show.
Yeah.
Beard Hunter is the most ridiculous creation ever.
Yeah, he's in season 1, and yeah, he comes back and they're like, "Where's Mr. Nobody?" It's like, "Oh, he got a deal for another show, but he gets to just voice somebody for like 1 day's work."
So
Well, that and like Tudyk is constantly breaking the fucking fourth wall as Mr. Nobody in that show too, and he's seen like wearing DC Universe T-shirts and like with big posters for Doom Patrol behind him.
Mm-hmm.
does Grant Morrison get any type of writing credit or like inspired by credits for this show?
I don't know.
Because Mr. Nobody is one of his creations. Beard Hunter is one of his creations. Like, it seems like a lot of the imagery they're going with. Fucking Flex Mentallo is one of his creations. Like,
Yeah, he's in both seasons.
yeah, it seems kind of odd that they're not actually, citing the source at least or giving it some sort of nod.
I'll look it up right now, but yeah, it was.
That show is quite good on a service that will likely inevitably die.
It's on HBO.
Yeah,
Max.
they premiered season 2 on HBO Max as well.
Yeah, that's the fucking first nail in the coffin.
Well, honestly, I think.
Well, they already basically we've talked about it that like they said everything's leaving DC Universe. Yeah, he's not. Yeah, Morrison's not anything. It's Johns and Berlanti are the 2 big producer names.
Weird. Yeah, well, I mean, I think outside of like everything leaving the DC Universe app, I think when it was announced that the GCPD show is going to be on HBO Max, it's like, oh man, you guys don't care about DC Universe, do you? Like, you're going to put that there? Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
Right. Yeah, they're loading up the horse bullets, and
yeah, pretty much.
It's almost like you shouldn't have led the push for your streaming service with "fuck Batman" and that extremely cringy fucking trailer.
Right.
I think that guy whoever plays Dick Grayson in that show was like I don't think the movies and TV shows should ever interact. Blah blah blah. I'm like, you know what? That's the only thing keeping this fucking brand alive. All right, so why don't you shut your mouth?
Well, it also seems like a lot of the decisions for DC Universe were made by those prior executives who were either out or on their way out, and now it's just like, yeah, we got to clean this up real quick.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of DC movies, man, Cyborg is going at it.
Holy shit! That shit is developing like on the hour.
Yeah, didn't he? the last thing was he's like, yeah, what they put out was bullshit. They had
they were like, they accused him of refusing to cooperate, and he's like, I didn't refuse to cooperate. I wanted the investigator vetted, and the investigator is from Warner Film, so that person has the studio's interest in mind, and Ray Fisher wanted a third party.
Well, they wanted a third party because they also had a second person to be a witness on their end. He's like, well, I want to get somebody on my end too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I guess the other thing is like he would like Hamada was like, well, okay, if this goes public, like in exchange for, I guess whatever Ray Fisher's getting into this, like let's throw a bus over who the fuck was it?
Johns?
Oh shit.
No,
actually it was Joss Whedon and someone else, and then they wanted to spare Joss Whedon the public scrutiny.
Or Jeff Johns, the scrutiny.
And oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, Jeff Johns. Yeah, he wanted to not roll a bus over Jeff Johns.
Yeah,
It kind of makes me wonder how much money Jeff Johns has wrapped up in all of this.
I don't understand how he has any power.
Right, like
it makes no sense to me.
Considering how much it seems they don't really care about the comics, it's weird that they would care. Yeah, about about him, about his position going forward and his reputation. It's just, it feels weird. And then it's the thing that I brought up in the chat much earlier today, which is execs shit on the execs that they're replacing all the time. Usually they're very polite about it and they word it in a way that doesn't seem too inflammatory. But they will like point out that they're going to fix somebody else's mistakes oftentimes. So it's weird that he would be wanting to spare the person he replaced. I guess.
I guess because he's still in the company.
Yeah, I suppose.
And he's heavily involved with some of the shows that are doing really well for them. Like,
plus he's also the DC Golden Boy.
And his production company is heavily involved with DC. Like, he's consistently been somebody who's been able to sell comics for them, which, yeah, like you said, Arlen, they don't seem to give a shit. But any extra money they can make, and Jeff Johns' name seems to sell a lot of comics for them.
Well, right now, any extra money.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, right.
Yeah,
when they
gotta pay off that debt.
They got to pay off all that debt that they know that they could pay off any time if they just release the Samsung S21 Joker phone.
No, but they're not selling the games division anymore officially.
No, this thing is going to become your Tulpa. Like, you're going to will it into existence.
I will will it into existence, and then I'm going to fucking buy one.
See, what's going to happen, Arlen, is that it'll not happen, but you're going to get the Sony Xperia Morbius edition.
Oh, that's going to happen.
And the
God, I hope there's I want a Morbius edition just so I know that it existed. So that when people ask me years from now,
it has like the little holes on the back. From the cartoon.
It bleeds on you when it rings.
It's like oh god, I can't even think of it. We are the new flesh. It's like when you stick a VHS in your stomach and
fucking Videodrome.
Phone, but it's like you attach it to your chest and it like sucks. God damn it.
It's like being John Malkovich. You put the tape in your chest and then you get to become Jared Leto for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
No. No one wants that.
What tier of his cult is that?
That's the top tier. You get a free Morbius phone. He's gonna have millions of them because he's going to buy them in bulk to make the sales seem artificially higher. Like Fox News host.
His co-stars in his next movie.
Wrapped in used condoms, yes. With your mentioning of the video games division not being sold, yeah, that struck me as really weird that they're like, oh, it's for sale. No, it's not. Right before we announced 2 Batman-related games.
Well, yeah, they were like, oh, we're not sure. Then after like everyone's like blowing their load about their games, it's like, oh, we're definitely not selling them now.
I feel like that was a negotiation tactic. I hinted at that on like a past show, but that's what that was. They were trying to like get somebody to either go down in price or up in price, something. They were doing it in order to destabilize somebody else's argument about price or their whatever their position was.
The actual
Mhm.
I
value
feel like
of it.
that's
Yeah.
yeah, because nothing else really makes sense other than they legitimately thought that they could make some money on it at the time, and then they changed their mind, which is possible. But again,
So
I don't
like
know.
we can make money now,
Yeah.
or we can keep making money off Batman and Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe occasionally a Lord of the Rings game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It struck me as really odd. Yeah, I don't know. Do we just want to call it a wrap? Because we all seem to be really low energy on this and just kind of meandering.
I mean, sure. Yeah. I
Sure.
can do that.
This will be someone's bottom drawer, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay, let's call it good, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's been a very casual after dark. Barbecue for Movie Dumpster's over, and there's some prizes going out. We just recorded Evil Speak with Clint Howard. It's pretty bizarre. Kind of liked it, kind of didn't. And then after that, I think Arlen's coming on.
Yeah, and you're going to be seeing Clint Howard again very soon.
For fuck's sake, 2020 has been the year for weird fetuses and Clint Howard appearing in Movie Dumpster movies.
In Australia, what do you guys call it? Like Australia exploitation, all exploitation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever the version of the Video Nasties is.
Mm-hmm.
Evil Speak was actually on the Video Nasties for a bit.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It was
It's probably because Clint Howard's in it.
Mm-hmm.
No, at the end he charges forward and cleaves a priest's head in half with a claymore.
Oh.
Whilst levitating. That movie's got like the final 5 minutes are fucking metal.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then Granny Van Dam shows up. She tells him to take his clothes off. The whole thing. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Let's see. I guess it would be my turn. Lost Horror Podcast. We have a new episode that should be out as of the time this is available to listen to. Where we watched all of the Bill and Ted's, the new one and the previous two. And spoilers, we really enjoyed at least the first two, and we had thoughts about the new one. So check that out. Should be fun.
I'm Eric Fedorchak. You can find me at Eric_Fedor on Instagram. There's pictures of dogs and cats and food and comics. I'm also floating around the Phantom Zone, doing a thing here, doing a thing there. I'm also going to be starting a new Instagram. It's going to be at young_Kame, or is that my Twitter account? I can't remember which. Lou, which one is that? Is that my Twitter account or is that my Instagram account?
I think it's all the same now. I think you fixed it so they're all the same.
Okay, cool.
You also have like 7 different Facebook accounts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to find my other Facebook accounts, I'm under Hunter S. Davenport, and I forget what the other one is, but basically look for variations on. What's that?
Was it Hunter Anthony Davenport?
Yeah, I think that's one of them too.
I think so.
Yeah. So yeah, just look for those and spam them about how bad Moon Knight is, how much of a pervert I am for enjoying the anime I enjoy, and how bad my facial hair looks.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, send them pictures of that wolf and that bunny doing things.
And that wolf in that bunny.
Oh.
Right, yeah.
Unpleasant.
Yeah. Just.
And this is coming from me. This is coming from me saying
put together a video of the bunny making the noises that bunnies make when they're dying.
Oh God.
Just the worst thing imaginable.
Okay, when I get back home, I might have to make that.
Oh no.
So John, who was on here before, we are we have the comic show that comes out every so often. Between that, we are watching movies. Our next set of movies, we just wrapped up Pulp Comics movies. We're doing Pulp Sci-Fi, and we're starting with the movie with the greatest soundtrack of all time. One of two movies starring Timothy Dalton, and we're starting with Flash Gordon, 1980.
Oh, nice.
Oh boy.
Yes.
Oh my.
Yes, and talking about Yellowface, who recently passed Max von Sydow.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah.
Or was that Christopher Plummer? We'll never know.
We'll never know. It depends
Actually,
on the shot.
I thought it was
Right.
Kevin Spacey.
No, everybody's far too old for him in this movie.
Oh no. Boo. Boo. Yeah, I totally forgot that Timothy Dalton was in Flash Gordon. That's awesome.
I haven't seen Flash Gordon in years, so I also forgot that.
That
Yeah,
movie,
he plays like the prince, I think.
yeah, he's kind of an asshole in it too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and then the second movie we're watching him in, he's just straight the bad guy, and that's gonna be the Rocketeer.
Oh god,
Nice.
you're gonna do the Rocketeer. I might need to be on for that
Yeah,
one.
our three Pulp Sci-Fi, we're doing Flash Gordon, the Rocketeer, and John Connor of Mars.
I mean,
John Carter of Mars is great. Well, just John Carter, I guess, unless you're talking about some 50s serial. Yeah.
they never made a John Carter of Mars, Eric.
Yeah,
Didn't
Yeah,
you
because
know that?
unfortunately.
Mars
yeah.
movies don't sell. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cut
Because
to The Martian, which came out like the same year, or something like that. Oh god.
What were you gonna say, Connor?
I was like, yeah, all thanks to two movies that came out in like 2000. Like,
It was like Red Planet, Ghosts of
Red
Mars.
Planet no, I don't think it was Ghost of Mars. It was Red
Mission
Planet
to
and
Mars.
Mission to Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, 2000s Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks,
for
thanks
making
Brian
Mars-
De Palma. That's right. I'm calling out Brian De Palma, right?
Yeah, thanks for making any movie set on Mars unbankable from now until the end of time.
I just want to share this picture. This is a better picture of Timothy Dalton in Flash Gordon. And
Is he in his flashy green suit?
It is insane. God damn it. It is insane that Mission to Mars is considered a failure, because if you look at the numbers on that movie, that would be a giant hit now if a movie came out and made that much money for that budget. It would be, nobody would call that a failure. I do understand Red Planet though, because wow, I didn't know you could make
is Red Planet
$22
the one
million.
with, what's his name from Forrest Gump?
Gary Sinise?
Gary Sinise, or is that the
No,
other
that one's Mission. So Red Planet.
Are we really?
At the same time.
Why
Is
do we
Val
do this
Kilmer-
every episode with you guys on? You end up finding a conversation to have that's going to be like 15 minutes. At the end of the show.
About Red Planet Mars? We
I only know this because I watched Red Planet recently. It's Val Kilmer, the second dude from Saving Private Ryan,
Tom Sizemore and Carrie Ann Moss.
yeah, the dude who was in The Mentalist, who's I guess like 20 at the time, and then Carrie Ann Moss, and then fucking Terrence Stamp shows up to like die a third of the way through from like a blood clot or something like that. Because it's space, and space is bad.
All right, let's
Please
abandon.
kill me.
Let's abandon.
So, and then who's in Mission to Mars?
Oh, bye everybody. Bye.
Bye, everybody.
I guess we're
Robot,
done.
leave.
Bye. Can I get it copied in time?
Here's a quote from the
Bye.
creator Mario. Donkey Kong Country proves that players will put up with mediocre gameplay.
What?
as long as it's good.
What is this? Bye. Bye.